Many people ask me, is a supplement business really profitable? Today, we're going to get to the bottom of that answer. Welcome to Health Business Mastery, the Creative Thirst podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Hewitt. So is a supplement business really profitable? Well, nearly everybody takes some sort of supplement these days. It's worth getting a slice of the pie, isn't it? Well, the supplement industry is really highly profitable, both as a whole for the individual manufacturers and for distributors. It's valued at well over $37 billion, and the industry is growing quickly. Startup costs are pretty moderate, and profit margins are quite high for supplement retailers and sellers. If you really want to get into the supplement business game, however, you're going to be looking at an estimate of $50,000 to really get it going. Most of that is going to go to marketing content and traffic to get your supplement in front of an audience to see if your offer is worth converting. So that's relatively cheap startup cost, especially when compared to other business ideas. 77% of Americans consume at least one type of supplement, and when they go to buy them, they tend to spend around $96 on average. The profit margin for supplement distributors is very high. It's typically in the 38 to 60% range. It really depends on how you're selling your supplements. If you're just using a white label off-the-shelf product, it's going to be a much higher profit margin. And then you're really competing based on marketing, which is fine to start out with, but once you start to get beyond that $5 million point, you want to start thinking about a more custom formulation to really differentiate yourself in the marketplace. You can't really scale with a white label product the way you used to be able to. Now, you really, when it comes to scaling, you really have to have something that's very unique in the marketplace that you can compete on. Many supplement businesses really began online because of a low startup cost, and many of them really have taken off just because they've been in the game long enough at this point and paid the dues, and now they are where they are today. To get to that point, it is still possible, but it is a very different game now online. There's much more competition now than there was 10, 15 years ago, and acquisition costs are going up. So that means it costs a lot to acquire a customer, and you have to be able to make up that difference with your average order value and other things that you sell to the customer. To really get started in the supplement game, you have to research the market. You really have to understand the market demands and what your competition is selling. Not only what they're selling, but how they're selling it, what their offer is, how they're positioning it, what marketing messages are they using, what hooks are they using, what vehicles are they using? Are they using a long-form sales page? Are they using a video sales letter? It's crucial to understand all of that before really establishing any kind of supplement business. I have a link in the show notes for a $7 product that you can see how people are advertising their supplements. And that is a great way to start understanding the marketplace, starting to understand and research how other supplement brands are selling theirs, so that you can then build your supplement empire and replicate what they've done. So, like I mentioned earlier, once you get beyond that point of, let's say, $5 million business, you want to start thinking about better quality products, especially if you're starting out with a white label off-the-shelf product. You could start there initially with a better quality product, but it's going to take more investment. It's going to take more startup than that $50,000 that I mentioned earlier. That $50,000, like I said, is mostly traffic and mostly copywriting and a little bit of development design, right? Because everything else is going to be right off the shelf. When you're starting out and you don't have that quality product, you really just have to find the right niche, the right market, the right group of buyers, the right people who have a big enough problem that they're looking to solve it. And you can solve it with the marketing power behind it. Once you have some traction, you want to start choosing a reliable manufacturer who supplies better quality supplements, who supplies something that can do a custom formulation. And a great place to learn more about that is a YouTube channel called The Mighty Startup. I recently had Brian, he is the host of The Mighty Startup, as one of the guests on a recent podcast. And if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, it's fantastic for understanding the whole manufacturer side of the business. I highly recommend you check it out. But you really want to make sure that the products adhere to industry standards and make sure that you're working with a manufacturer who will help you really formulate something custom at that point. You also want to make sure that your product line makes sense with everything that you're selling. You don't want to just have a shotgun approach to a whole bunch of different types of supplements or sell something like a store that has everything under the sun, common vitamins on top of more specific heart problems and sleep problems. You don't want to just go after everybody. You want to niche down to the people with problems that are willing to pay at least $40 or more for a single bottle of supplement. That's the price point that really it has to be in order to make the economics work in today's marketplace. And you also want to start doing some online networking. You want to establish yourself in the marketplace. You want to start getting to know other players so that you can eventually do email swaps with them, do affiliate deals with them. Those other players have email lists that you may not have right now. They have email lists of buyers, they have email lists of leads, and those are really valuable to you when you're first starting out. The problem is you don't have anything of value to offer someone else who has that asset because they're already making money with that asset. So you really have to network with those people. You kind of have to do a lot of begging for them to promote you. Or you can also network with people that are in the same, sort of at the same level as you are, right? They're in that startup phase level, and they will be someday, as you will be, at a much higher level, and you can help each other out at every stage of the business. You also want to consider really good customer service. Supplement businesses are more than just bottle pushers. People that call supplement customer service of a supplement company are really calling about their problems. They're really calling about things that are a struggle for them. And when you're first starting out, I recommend that you do the customer service. You don't outsource that because you want to be as close to the customer as you possibly can. It will pay off dividends in the years to come because you'll know the customer better and you'll know the problem better, and it could help you sort of pivot and change even your offering or even your supplement line that you never would have even imagined had you not talked to those customers. So that's the one area that you don't want to outsource and put a white label on. Although it's very tempting because that's very time consuming, and it's also the minutia of the business when the entrepreneur or CEO really wants to be at the high level of the business. But I highly recommend really getting close to that customer to ensure that you provide an excellent customer service, provide accurate product information, really respond quickly to inquiries and address any problems and complaints in a very professional manner. Positive client interactions can result in recurring business and word-of-mouth referrals that really is untrackable. Given the wide range of supplement brands available, you have to distinguish yourself from your competition. You have to create a unique selling proposition that really emphasizes what makes your product stand out. This can include this formula. It could include some natural component. It could include eco-friendly packaging or even individualized customer experience. There's many different aspects in which you can compete against, even if you're doing a white label product, right? This is where it extends beyond the marketing. You can tap into the unique mechanism of action of that supplement and Tell the story in a different way that your competitors are not telling it, even if it's the same formulation. It really comes down to catching into that emotional state of the buyer, right? Starting with a hook that's really strong, that's really different, that's really comes at it from a contrarian point of view that they haven't heard before and are willing to listen to. Because half the battle is getting someone to really listen to your marketing message in order to convince them to buy. If they don't listen to the marketing message, if they don't read the message, then they're never going to buy. If you're just selling based on the offer, then it's a race to the bottom. And you're not going to have a high enough average order value that way, and it's going to be very difficult to pay for acquisition, which is the key to really growing a supplement company. It all comes down to how much you pay to acquire a customer. That's all I've got for you today. I really just wanted to jump on the mic real quick and get this out there. Creative Thirst is a direct response digital agency focusing on conversion rate optimization and A/B testing. We work with dietary supplement companies who are struggling to maximize the profitability of their funnels so they can scale. Through the last 7 years in the online health space, we've optimized many dietary supplement businesses. And in that time, we've uncovered the 3 critical funnels for success. We put together that information in a free digital download called The 3 Funnels Every Health Supplement Business Needs to Build a Multi-Million-Dollar Empire. You can get that free report by going to creativethirst.com. Scroll down to the appropriate section and click on the blue Get Your ebook button.